Family, this is JamiroFan2000 with another episode of the Jamiroquai Minute, all the latest Jamiroquai news in less than 1 minute, so let's get right into it. This is the news roundup for the week of April 9th, and yet it was another busy week for Jamiroquai, so let's get right into it. Earlier this week, Jamiroquai did a bunch of promo work for the newly released album Automaton in the country of Italy, with JK making some appearances and the band on various talk shows and radio interviews throughout the country of Italy. Then JK would come back to the UK and do two shows, and we got a little bit of more information about what is to be in store coming from Jamiroquai in regards to a music video. During one of the UK interviews on the BBC Breakfast, JK let out the news that they had filmed a third music video for Automaton at the same time when they were doing the videos for Cloud9 and Automaton. The third music video will be potentially from the third single, which is going to be Nights Out in the Jungle. JK didn't get into too much detail about when the video would come out, what the video is going to be about, but Nights Out in the Jungle is one of the most thick, amazing songs on Automaton, so a translation in a music video would be very, very interesting. Also throughout this week, we had the first actual chart settings of how well Automaton has been selling in its first week of release, at least in regards to the European and the Japanese market. And the first chart position for Jamiroquai's Automaton would be the midweek album charts, would place Jamiroquai at number 2 on the album sales charts for the European, at least for Europe. And then later on, we would get the full album chart, the full UK album chart positioning for Jamiroquai's Automaton after a week of sales, and Automaton would end up debuting at number 4 on the album sales chart, which is the best positioning of album sales for Jamiroquai in some time. The last Jamiroquai album to have this probably good of a position on the UK charts after its first week of release was a Rock Dust Lightstar, which debuted at number 7. So congratulations to Jamiroquai, and congratulations to all the fans for helping Automaton become yet another record-selling album for the band Jamiroquai. Also this week I finally received my first physical release of Automaton, and if you check my channel, you will find my video where I do an unboxing of the Japanese release of Automaton. Also, for all the fans of the Jamly that didn't get a chance to hear the Japanese bonus track that is on the Japanese release of Automaton, a fan on YouTube has put up an audio track of the Japanese bonus track for Automaton for Nice and Spicy, so be sure to check out YouTube and look for that track so you can hear it for yourself if you have had the luxury of buying the Japanese release of Automaton. Also, Matt Johnson, the keyboardist of Jamiroquai, did an interview on the Grun Funk radio show on SoundCloud, so be sure to check that out. And also, it's being reported, some fans have found information that apparently JK will be a guest host on the Top Gear car show, which is currently on Hulu, so it's not known when this episode with JK as a guest host will air, but I'll be sure to pass that on to you when I find out a little bit more. And probably the most overshadowing, probably the elephant of the room news for this week, and probably the news that kind of brought a lot of my fellow American Jamiroquai fans down a little bit. April 7th was the official release date for Automaton here in the United States. And after, as I said in the last episode of the Jamiroquai Minute, after looking around at my local independent record stores and checking all the big box stores, apparently Automaton here in the United States is going through a delay. The Best Buy website, which was probably the only place I found probably the best information concerning this delay. Apparently Automaton, both the vinyl and the CD release here in the United States has been delayed to sometime in May to June 2017. And that it's a bit of a downer. After how amazing this marketing machine for Virgin EMI has been for Jamiroquai's album Automaton, and how well the marketing has been for this album, it's absolutely unfathomable to believe that the Jamiroquai album here in the United States release date was being missed, or it would have I don't know, honestly. It could be a plethora of reasons why this album was delayed here in the United States. It could have been supply and demand underestimating. It could be just they plan on not releasing this album in the United States until later, maybe during the summer, to capitalize on a better sale environment or season. Because most of the Automaton is very summer sounding. It's very like party music sounding. So maybe they chose to release Automaton in the United States during a better seasonal time. It's a myriad of potential reasoning why Automaton has been delayed here in the United States. But you know what? I'm trying to stay positive. But you know, getting, like I just prefaced, you would think Virgin EMI having such a great marketing department and such a great job promoting this album, you would think they would have had the hindsight to at least let the American fans know, hey, this album is selling much better than we were expecting, and we don't have the stock, so we're going to have to delay this album in the United States so to accommodate all of the potential sales of this album, so everybody can get an album, everybody can get a vinyl. So you know what? If any news changed concerning this delay of Automaton here in the United States, I will be sure to pass it on to you. But you know, for the time being, if you're an American Jamiroquai fan, you really want to get this album for yourself, my suggestions is, if you want to get the Japanese release, which has the bonus track Nice and Spicy, I would suggest going to the CDJapan website, which is at cdjapan.co.jp, and you can order the CD there or the vinyl, but expect to pay a good amount of money if you want to get this delivered very, very quickly. I'll give an example. I bought the Japanese release of Automaton from that site, and I ended up paying about $25 to $26 to get it overnight, which basically means I got the album shipped to me 2 to 3 days after its release date. So that's just a little example of how much you're probably going to pay, because the album in Japan was about $22 total, the Japanese release. So you just do the math yourself and whatever you order from the site. As for the British release of the album, I would suggest going and buying it from the Jamiroquai Store, because, you know, I'm still waiting for my mint pack, but a lot of fans around the Jamily I've seen in social media have been slightly complaining that they are still waiting for their orders from the Jamiroquai Store to arrive. They did say on the website that if, just in the case of the United States like me, I've been waiting for about a week and change now for my mint pack to arrive, so hopefully by early next week I should be getting my mint pack and my t-shirt. But other people around the world, in various parts of the world, most notably the United States, Canada, maybe South America, if they did any orders from that site, they're going to be waiting a good long time. They do offer expedited delivery, but it only cuts the wait time to probably down to 4 to 5 days, so 4 to 7 days. But if you just order it without doing the expedited delivery, you're going to be waiting to potentially 7 to 14 days for this to arrive to you, wherever you live in the world. But they've got varying delivery dates for wherever part of the world you order Jamiroquai merchandise there. So if you want to get the Jamiroquai, at least the British release of this album, I would recommend going and get it through the Jamiroquai Store. All of the news I talked about in today's episode of the Jamiroquai Minute, it is in a massive pile of links that you'll probably never get through, but I might as well put it there. There's all the links to everything I discovered and discussed in this roundup episode of the Jamiroquai Minute is, of course, in the description box of this video down below, as always. And I also, in my review of, or I should say my boxing video of the Japanese release of Automaton, I did do a mini review of the bonus track Nice and Spicy. It was darn good track, and I still, some of my friends do agree, some of my fellow fans of the Jamiroquai Jamily do agree that this track should at least had a little bit of consideration as being a potential album track. But you know what? We don't make the decisions. We just purely listen to the music and enjoy the music. And as for the reviews of Automaton so far, continuing to roll in, not many major reviews, you may say, from some of the bigger music magazines like Rolling Stone and NME. They have yet to get around to reviewing Automaton, but I expect in the next few weeks, if the album release date in the United States has been edited to sometime during the late spring or early summer, we will see reviews from them. But so far, the reviews have been critically acclaiming and very, very positive. There have been a few little, like I said in the past few episodes of the Jamiroquai Minute, there have been a few little meandering reviews which absolutely had the reviewers having no hindsight or any absolute intelligible knowledge of Jamiroquai prior to doing these reviews, so they are not worth being mentioned individually. But the reviews have been super positive. But as I said, everything from today's episode discussed in the description box of the video down below. Be sure to check it out. And I'll hopefully be back early next week with hopefully an unboxing of my mint pack and my gray t-shirt from the Jamiroquai Store. So, and I also, in the description, I'll put links to the CDJapan and to the Jamiroquai Store, so you can go buy your Jamiroquai merchandise if you choose to do so and don't want to wait to whatever, just for American Jamiroquai fans, if you do not want to wait to that later, whatever indeterminate date that this new release date for Automaton here in the United States will be. So this is JamiroFan2000. Thank you again, everyone, for the support, and be sure to come by the Jamiroquai subreddit at www.reddit.com/r/Jamiroquai. Been newly remodeled. I gave it a new theme, and there's a lot of stuff updated there. You should check it out. It's a great place to hang out with fellow Jamiroquai fans. And that's it for now. This is JamiroFan2000. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week with some more Jamiroquai Minutes, some more JamiroFan Talks About, and more Jamiroquai related videos. Bye, everybody.